Down the line. Cross court. Turn, turn in. Into like your hip. Flip. High stress that you really gotta, that you wanna hold the racket. Otherwise, you're gonna tear your rotator cuff. You really wanna sometimes you just wanna on those high ones, you want to high slice down. Half volley. Better slow mo.
Let's look at the career of Aaron Rodgers. It's brought to you by FedEx. He is in the league of quarterback company. Aaron Rodgers, top 5 rating, Manning, Favre, passing yards and passing touchdowns, all those magical moments. All those spellbinding plays in Green Bay. Only Peyton Manning has won more NFL MVPs, won 4. The Super Bowl championship, Super Bowl 45, and ends in Green Bay. Goes to the Jets, tears his Achilles. He did not like the way the experience went with the Jets. So glad to be here in Pittsburgh for this opportunity. She thought was for 1 year, but who knows? Rodgers, first down, throw. It is hooked up by Marlon Humphrey trying to get it. His former Packer teammate, Marcelo Valdez. We walked into the meeting at the Steelers facility on Friday. I was like, hey, let's go. This is maybe our last production meeting with Aaron. So have you thought about this meeting for the last? No. And he's left the door open to playing again because he had fun this year playing for Pittsburgh and for Mike Tomlin.
I like watching white excellence.
I think this game is going to have a lot to do with that decision. If he takes the Pittsburgh Steelers to the playoffs without
White excellence, elderly white excellence. So when Brett Favre was on the Vikings.
this has really hurt this football, and in particular, hurt Aaron Rodgers. That's exactly right, because if you watch this,
They don't have, they don't really have any talent. Like DK Metcalf having an altercation with the fan and grabbing his throat or whatever the fuck it was, and then insinuating the guy said he called him the N-word, and that's why he did it. I find that hard to believe because of the repercussions of a fan saying that amongst the fans in the stands. I just don't think that's the case. DK Metcalf lost his cool. And now we have a 4th and 10. Pittsburgh has got 3 points on the board. It's really cold. They're in Pittsburgh. They're home. The Ravens are going to take over, leading by 7. They got Gainwell. They've got Highsmith. They've got Calvin Austin, who is maybe a 3. And I don't think a slot receiver, crafty 3. He's 3-2, so he's like a 2C or 2B as a number 2 receiver. They really don't have a lot. DK Metcalf, can you imagine if they had... Don't even want to think about it. Don't even want to think about it. But George Pickens, what was that? What was that? Yeah, he's a knucklehead? Fine. They might get him back. They might be able to pay him back because I just find it hard to believe that the Cowboys are going to pay him. They didn't go to the playoffs with him. I mean, it's so much Jerry Jones is going to die before the Cowboys ever do anything. DK Metcalf's going to retire before anything happens with the Cowboys. It's just Dak Prescott's 32, 34 years old, something like that. Like, it's over. There are young players in the league that will already have retired before the Cowboys are back at it. Because they're going to be that weird transition period where they get a quarterback after Dak retires, and they're going to be like 15th because they're good but not great, and it's just highly unlikely. I don't think older Dak with less mobility is going to be great. He has that thick body. You know, it's very, very like kind of like the arc of a Roethlisberger, where it just doesn't age particularly well when it comes to mobility. Maybe I'm wrong. He is black, so maybe I'm wrong. But like Steve McNair had a problem. You know, we saw some issues with Russell Wilson, who's an incredible athlete, but he's short. So I don't know. Maybe Randall Cunningham played for a while, but like a while, like 35, he was still good. You know. Is this updating? I'm trying to update my phone so I can use my simulator and see if the app that I'm creating is working. The last app I'll ever do, because I'm switching to, for projects, a lot of hardware stuff. Learning hardware. Taking my programming knowledge for my fun projects and converting them to hardware. Boy, 26.2 seems like a big update. I'm just on because I feel like it. I don't really have anything to comment on. How old is Morgan Ariel's daughter? Is she like really young? Is it like inappropriate? Okay, that's why she's upset at the Groypers. My 17-year-old daughter. Fair game, buddy. Like women, like, oh, they have to be like, you know, young adolescence ends around 25, and you're an adult. And it's like women are dumb when they're 17, they're dumb when they're 25. It really makes no difference. It makes no difference. No one streams on Sunday. Day of rest. Verifying update. Yeah, install that shit. I really want pizza, but I'm going to try not to eat. What do they do? Derrick Henry's such a beast. Steelers should have signed that guy. Like, was he a free agent? Was it a trade with the Titans? I don't even remember. Like, that's a Steeler. It's such a weird thing to have a guy like Derrick Henry on the Ravens. It's like they have the weird finesse agility of their skill position players, some of their younger wide receivers, Zay Flowers, and then they have, of course, Lamar Jackson. But it's this brutal 32-year-old running back who's just like balling out randomly. And you have people drafting like an Ashawn Genty, like from, was it Boise State, who's like 5'8" or whatever, and he's did nothing. You have the Commanders getting Ja'Cory Crosby-Merritt in the 7th round, who I said like he's really a top 5 back. I told people that, and they're like, "What do you mean?" Like the analyst, Stephen A. Smith says, "Listen, they're not really bright. Like football analysis isn't like particularly interesting. You don't, you know." I was wrong on like Drake May was like too much. I thought, this is what I said. He's a more athletic Matt Ryan. That's what I said. Is he better than that? Maybe he is now. I don't know. I haven't watched any. I see his stats. I never watch him play. But that was my analysis. I thought Michael Penix probably should have been the number one. Is that fair? Is that good? Probably not. Probably not a good choice. I liked Michael Penix. He was like probably my favorite. Damn knee injuries, inclusive thereof, and the new one. It's like now it's just they fired Fontenot, the general manager, and Raheem Morris today. Arthur Blank. I think it's like, hey, you might have drafted a quarterback that's a lemon. Yeah, man. Didn't they win? Didn't the Falcons win? Let me check. Lamar. The Falcons won, and they're like immediately fired. Can't even get to like the week. Couldn't even get to Monday. Sketch as fuck, man. They have been removed, dismissed of their duties, removed from their positions. Security has revoked their entry cards. Their cell phone no longer works. Their company car has been deactivated. That's the weird fucking thing. Like you have a BlackBerry for work, they turn that shit off. It's like a client account, right? And the client is the office, so they can just shut you down. But the worst part is the car. It's like, you've been fired. Like you're at the gas station, it stops working. That's brutal. Third and 17. Here we go. Come on. Come on. Oh. All right. So that's a punt. We're going to see old man winner before the half. 3-minute drive here. Oh, mama said, oh, mama said there'll be daylight there. There'll be daylight there. My mama said. When you on chess.com and you crush it, and it tells you have like, was it brilliance, the highest rated move? You have like 6 brilliant moves, and then like you find out that, you can't analyze the game to know what your percentage is and like what the ratio is at to ELO because you've already done it for the day and you have to wait till tomorrow and you don't want to pay the $10 subscription. The $10 subscriptions add up, players. They add up. Your entire Netflix yearly is like $160 or whatever it is, something like that, $200, and like that's what Claude is like if you're doing any deep coding with Claude Code, which I think is great for also searching for things in a coding base, like trying to find like a function or a state. It's really good for that, better than the actual search, especially in app forms like Xcode or like React. I think so. Probably some function in terminal, I just don't know. Because I'm not a crack coder at all. I never will be. Also now there's this remedial memorization. People used to ask me in finance, like, how do you remember all these formulas? So like, they're really not things you remember. They're basic concepts of like decay, discounting to time value, and like kind of like a geometric mean, like what they're not really that interesting, like in terms of like you just know it heuristically in your head what's the likely like arithmetic involved, like this just logically you should know it. You don't have to memorize anything. Excel does a lot of that for you. And then like, you know, statistical anomalies like geometric Brownian motion and drift and trying to determine like stock prices, like this is all synthetic. It's like also very intuitive. But coding, most people, Stack Overflow, that was the thing. It's over now. Now you just go to Claude. And people get so dumb, like Idiocracy, they're on like Stack Overflow or Stack Exchange or whatever, and they're like, Claude told me that /init, like it says that it can't read my files, but that's what init is. Like I don't understand. It's supposed to like go through and understand what's going on. It hasn't. It's the summarization's not happening. So your AI assist is not summarizing correctly what you're doing. And then you're lost because you don't know how to go forward. Like that's what it's going to be like. I think the coolest thing is like when I learned about Alter Ego, the mind reading app. The first one was the guy who would offer $1,000,000 if you could prove that someone could like do magic, like read someone's mind, like that. He was on like the Guinness World Series. I'll offer $1,000,000 if you can actually do one of the things. Like, so they put this headset on him at MIT, and it's like, think of like an object as like it's like a rectangle, and they show him, and he gives them like $1,000,000. That technology of reading brainwaves and like extrapolating out images is the they've even done this with cats and like how they see the world through like their retina and the way that the eye is structured. This Gainwell guy is so good, Mighty Mouse, but they need more. The Pittsburgh Steelers. This alter ego thing is cool, where you can print your words and never actually talk to someone using a third asset, which is a screen or a shared screen. So it reads your mind, and your other person's thoughts read their mind. And you're having a conversation, but it's superficial because you still need the screen. It would be cooler. Can I beam my thoughts to someone, and can I read them? That's the next thing. So like, that's fucking awesome. Obviously they're working on that, but I'm like, I'd like to get to where they are, understand what's involved. Let me go to Home Depot. Let me get some tinfoil from my homo schizophrenic friends in the alley and try to build that. Like, let me try. I can ask Claude. You can go on like, how do I get some rudimentary knowledge of how to read and build a device? Some electrical engineering, like, for idiots. Martin Shkreli famously in his Vice interview had hedge funds for dummies on his shelf while playing chess with that woman who from the Vice detective, I was going to say, the Vice journalist. And then he comes out with his like hoverboard and a $10,000 bottle of Petrus, and it's like hedge funds for dummies on the left. And it's like, I have to say, being someone that's done that, it is kind of like your first year when you do stuff like that. It wasn't Martin's first go around, but everything you do is like, you make so many mistakes, like almost like where it looks like flagrant mistakes, because it's like you don't know what you're doing. Like, you don't know, and you don't have enough money to hire a bunch of experts to kind of tell you. Not in terms of like operations of size positioning, but like the paperwork and like just like all this legal bullshit, which isn't a lot, but it's enough to where like, what do you file? What are your records? Like, it's hard. It's confusing. You're a fledgling fund. You like have $500,000 for operations. You're trying to raise money. Hard. You have a startup and like you're trying to do X, Y, and Z. Like, do you have an LLC yet? Like, do you have structure to raise money? Do you have that like term notes for vesting schedules for potential hires once you get a seed funding round or something like this? Do you even have a cap table or understand how to like do that? Are you telling people pre-money versus post-money? Are you making the necessary adjustments? Do you pay a subscription service $2,000 a year to do that? Like, what's the one that everyone uses? Can't think of it. They're always like very like simple names that are nice but like robust, like ARC, like like ARC, and it's like some weird ARQ, and it's all this like free cap table, like investing schedule managed. Basically, it's just like Excel spreadsheets put through a filter to keep track of everything, and also like marketing, like basically templates to send out to people. But now you have AI. I don't even think you need that. Like, the weighting of everything is just like bespoke. It's bespoke. The robot stuff's cool. Who will win the robots? The sex robots. When will women be nicer? Because that's the time they will be very nice to us. I think our relationships with women will be cool when it's not all about sex. How are you doing? Because women can't really use sex robots. I know that in theory they can use sex robots. That's not how a woman operates. They don't really want to fuck an inanimate object. They want to have a relationship. Particularly with something that can actually like genetically get them pregnant. not something that's filled with another man's cum. And it's like there's just some vibe there that doesn't work. So I think like the concubine thing, or men having mistresses that are like Westworld objects from a cocaine-fueled sex party, like she like is inside the Murphy bed, and then your wife goes to bed, and like she comes out of it. Hi, Bubba Fat. Would you like menu of options like update firmware? Let's get freaky. You know, it'll be very normal, and everyone will be loved and cherished. Look at Rogers. White excellent. Elderly white. Geriatric excellence is something I really like. You know? You see like a white kid on a JV basketball team dunk on some black kids. It's like not racist. It's just like, wow. That's way more impressive to me. You know, it's just like, look at that retarded white kid just dunk on those future professional guys, you know? There is this a kid named Marcus Ginyard who was at McLean School, a prep school, kind of not really a prep school, but like an elite, a nice for rich kids. But he was black and not rich. But he was on the JV basketball team to predict his varsity eligibility when he was like in middle school. Okay, so he was dunking all over us, and he ended up going to UNC. I don't think he ever played in the NBA, but he was like a freak, just a freak. Very good defensive player, not a good offensive player, despite what I witnessed, which is him taking my layups off the backboard and then coming down and like jumping from the free throw line and just twirling in the air and making dunks. Come on. I think Brett Favre used to say that if he had the players that Jordan Love has on the Packers, like, you're talking about all those receivers. I can't remember all of them now. They're kind of confusing. Reed, Wicks, Watson. I can't remember all their names. But a lot of young people. They're very athletic. But he had Antonio Freeman. He had Bubba Franks. He had Dorsey Levens dumping off the ball. And there was another guy. It's eluding me. He had lots of talent. But if you were to juxtapose like who in the last 20 years has a similar receiving core to Aaron Rodgers tonight, I would say Donovan McNabb, Todd Pinkston, Brian Mitchell, like that era, maybe worse. Like people always thought that like Tom Brady did everything with nothing. That's not true. Troy Brown, David Givens, these are 4-4 guys all day long. Calvin Austin is not a number 2. He's like a poor man's number 2. And he's not a slot receiver, so you don't have like that gimmicky Cooper Kupp thing. Puka Nacua. He's not an elite like Wes Welker person. He's really a number 3 that's like a depth player to the 1 and 2 positions. That's why this game is so much fun to watch. It's like an elderly person with arthritis, and like all his skills are diminishing. You can see them. That has more money than God. That's playing in Pittsburgh in January with with a receiver who like tried to kill a guy for allegedly calling him a nigger, and it probably isn't true, but he's trying to like offset his actions, like, cause reciprocity from the other fans. A lot of black fans in the stands, they're drunk, that would say something. I know that it was like weird circumstances, like not a lot of people in this, but like still, I find it hard to believe that he would do that. Like, I say horrible things to hockey players in games. I wouldn't do that about their wives and everything. I wouldn't do that. I don't think. Never say never. But 22 seconds left. Let me see if I can do some color, like play-by-play. Some colored play-by. Yeah, it's like 22 seconds left before the half, motherfucker. No, like 22 seconds left. Aaron Rodgers here needs to be thinking about the clock and taking some serious shots because the offense just isn't there all half. He needs to make something happen here to give his team some momentum going into the third quarter. John, what do you think? Yeah. I think like the team with the most points at the end of the game is going to win. Fuck yeah. Thanks, John. That's the way like John Madden was, you know? But it like made it racially insensitive. But that's how John Madden was. Like, it's all about that. White excellence here. Let's see it. 3rd and 2, 22 seconds left. Ball on the 17. Here we go. Aaron Rodgers. Let's see it. Shotgun. 3 wide. Nice. All right. Is it Austin? Scantling. They signed Scantling, who's a former Green Bay guy, speedster, was last, I remember, free agent. Before that on the Chiefs. 13 seconds left, 1st down. You want to run some seams here. You want to confuse the Ravens, spread them out, and run someone up the middle. So whatever's going to happen here, it's going to be vertical in the slot area. Don't know everything about the terms of football, even though I've watched it my entire life. The up the middle, they're going to do vertical routes, short distance to the goal line, and then spread people out wide to force the safeties to make a decision. So you're going to have an option of like someone to the corner, someone like straight up, or one of the running backs also coming up, catching the ball short of the goal line, turning, like coming up the middle past the line, turning, and then getting some scrap yards as like a dump off or a hot read. Here we go. 1st and goal, 15 seconds left from the 10. There we go. Takes a shot. Throwing it behind the receiver. That's fine. 11 seconds left. Plenty of time. The thing I like about cold weather games is that it brings back defense. Always seems to be a more defensive game. The ball does not quite move as crisply through the air. It's why arm strength is a big deal. It does make a difference. People say, it's not arm strength, it's accuracy. No, it's not. Not when it's freezing cold. You need to push the ball down the field, especially if you're playing from behind. Okay, here we go. Some Asian lettering popped on my phone. I thought it was like some Asian person hacking it. No, it's the startup thing for the new iOS. So very excited. So I can use my phone to test my app soon. I'll do that at the half. I don't know how long I'll be streaming for. Shit, now my goddamn. Okay, there we go. Hold on. Flip this shit around and charge my shit. It's fucking weak ass Intel chip taking all the battery in my Mac. Okay. I don't have an M1 even. I should get one. Fuck. Buffering. Illegal stream. Oh, pass interference. Oh, 2 seconds. What do? You go for it. What do you do? Do you add seconds? Do you add seconds?
This is to win championships. This is a divisional championship. Nice job by Fryermuth. He becomes the target. Even though they were double teaming him again, Mike, he still went there.
Iffy. Here we go. I'm going to keep the volume low because it's so choppy. I have so many programs running on my computer right now. I think that's why it's like acting like shit. They're trying to run it. Oh, they're trying to get him off sides. They're going to kick a field goal. Oh, no, they're going to go. They're going to go. Oh, they stopped him. They stopped him on the quick toss. Like a fake hard count. Like that's all they're going to do and call a timeout and then the quick toss. Damn. Hey, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? That's respectable, though. I mean, that's good momentum. Like they did some good things there. one of the problems that Aaron Rodgers has as he's gotten older is his timing routes. He throws to ghosts more often. Like he either, I don't know, his movement or something. He sees ghosts more often. He's afraid of getting hurt again or like getting hit. So he throws his timing routes too precisely. Like they're lofted balls to an area, and there's a receiver option. Complex offenses often have like a route tree that's like complex based off the reads or the coverage. You saw this in those last years with Green Bay. They just balls just like would sail and like land in the middle of nowhere. Like where the fuck was that going? You know, does he think someone's there? But he's anticipating a read, and he's not on the same page with people. Tonight I see more of this, like less of the rock and fire. I see more of this. So there's something about him. He's become more like a finesse quarterback, if that's even a thing, and less of a like meat and potatoes person. He's less efficient, less like good at what he does. I don't quite understand. It's like he's using complex autism to get his receivers open rather than like the stuff he did like 10 years ago where he's like, I don't know, firing in there and like, yes, he's anticipating throws, but now more than ever before, it's just like a lofted ball, like the arc's like this, like a missile and like an ICBM and comes down and it lands in an area and there's often like someone, like no one's there. You know, I'm like, what are these weird routes? I don't get it. But I think they're due to, he does this purposely to offset the chances of getting hit. He like their timing routes. He puts arc on the ball, gives his receivers time, but they're landing in no man's land. Oh, you see that? See like some of the fat? See? Look at that shit. There's something there, you know? You know? Can they clip that? Oh, man. I don't think it makes sense for me to be streaming tonight. It's like crazy. Like, what am I doing? It's the day of rest for us Christians. We have to prepare to fight the Jews tomorrow, you know, in the stock market and everywhere else. Have I only done 13 minutes? No. Yeah? I've done 32 minutes streaming? Really? I didn't even think I did that much. I thought I did like 15, not 13. I was going to make a joke. I was like, oh, wow, okay. Let's just keep streaming, I guess. I'll stream a little bit longer. I don't know. Some people do this for like 7 hours, like Asmongold. I'm like, dude, what do you like? I can't talk to people for 7 hours. I have to figure out a way to like share a screen and go through content like on Twitter, because I can't. I think oil futures are going to be down tomorrow because the volatility is gone now that we've taken out Maduro. That makes a lot of sense to me. That's how it worked in Iraq. We don't have to worry about oil or war. China and Russia are cucked yet again and protecting their brothers and sisters. I do think Maduro's going to be fine. Something weird's going to happen. He's not going to like be in a supermax in Colorado. It's just too fucking weird. I just don't see it. He's too happy. Or he's been lied to. Or like it's like let me go out honorably, Mr. President, and I won't fight and I won't take any lives of U.S. like, you know, military people. He's like, fine. We will capture you. We'll make it look good, but you get to keep your like, you know, financial holdings, and I don't know. We'll kill you in prison or something at face value, but let you retire somewhere. I don't know, something weird. I just don't see him like he and his wife in a supermax, and like, you know, like anyone else would be. You know, like he's next to El Chapo. Yeah, Iran, dude. All this shit's gonna happen. They're planning all the attacks while Nick Fuentes is on vacation. That's the plan. Let me tweet that. It's true. They don't care about Candace. They just care about Nick's opinion. They're like, he's on vacation for how long? Till the 12th? Oh, okay. Okay. Well, we're going to go ahead and invade Iran now. We're going to go ahead and kill Putin. Hold on. I have another one. You know, the liabilities is where you got people. That's what I'm talking about. It's all about liabilities. That's how politicians are forced to play the game. Coming with the best of intentions. Most politicians, if they're not with family and a child by state council, state Congress level, before they get to the federal congressional level in Washington, D.C., they're gay. So you got to have a kid, you got to have a wife, and then you're not going to come out and say anything that's like incendiary because you have liabilities and you have upward mobility working in your favor. Nice little townhouse in Capitol Hill, you know, nice homestead in your local jurisdiction where they love you and they put you into Washington, D.C. Maybe your kids can go to Georgetown. Someone gets the nod, and Jack DeJoy's not president anymore, but someone else. They're like, hey, we'll put a good word for you. I know the Hines family really well, and we'll happily help you. Oh, you had a repost already. That's wonderful. Good. So yeah, it's yeah, man. It's liabilities are tough. So Putin's daughters kidnapping one of them to end the war because everything's working in Putin's favor. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. I don't advocate violence, even though I say it's absolutely necessary, and you're an idiot if you don't think that that's how we play the game. How did we overthrow Maduro and protect U.S. oil interests in the New Monroe Doctrine in South America? We went in with our military and took, with like military troopers and fucking DEA outfits, like bad drug lord Maduro, who just happens to have the largest known offshore oil reserves untapped in the entire fucking world. Yeah. Oh, that's just civil diplomacy. That's just like us exercising our protectionism as Americans against fentanyl importation and illegal drug smuggling that are killing our kids, because that's where the fentanyl's coming from, Venezuela. Right, of course. And that's where all the hot women are. All the hot women are in Mexico. They're not in Colombia. They're gorgeous little Bisa Abuelo, fat, like Selena Gomez after like 5 years from now. That's where all the hotties are. The tall, slender European girls in Colombia, nah, in Argentina, no, of course not. The ones that are some mix between some Aryan, I don't know what, and some Spanish, like Prince Philip combination, fucking, nah, no, it's not that. This couldn't possibly be that. Yeah, all the heroin comes from Tierra del Fuego. Right, of course. Yeah, makes a lot of sense. And we're going to overthrow the Jewish president of Mexico. Scheinbaum. Of course we will. I wouldn't mind us taking over Greenland, though. I actually think that more like satellites, like Puerto Rico, that offer tax havens for U.S. citizens to go there, like special infrastructure spend, like you get to go there, They offer you like free room and board for a year. They give you $60,000 or $100,000 to start like a business, like, and it's like becomes like a satellite. I like that. I like smart people. Go to, get a place in Venezuela, move there with your family. Why not? Do you know how awesome that is? Please, fucking awesome. If you like Europe, you probably like Argentina. Venezuela is probably going to be good too. So, my friend bought a beachfront property in Ecuador like 10 years ago for $50,000. It's worth like a lot more than that. It's like 10x. Meanwhile, my townhouse in Baltimore, Maryland, I'm waiting for that high-speed rail to come in, so it's actually a suburb of Washington, D.C. High-speed rail, D.C. to New York, 45 minutes. D.C. to Baltimore would be like 15, maybe less, depending on how fast the train is. There's some even faster stuff. That was the original proposal. The MAG train, MAG level, magnetic, no friction, high-speed rail. That's the type of rail I like. High-speed rails, clavicular in the bathroom, on the train, an 8-ball, 15 minutes to New York. That would be sick. Trump administration. Should I go now? Yeah, probably. Okay. I'm going to go. Have a good night.